They're on the move. On April 1st, 2026, at 6:35 p.m. local time, the Space Launch System, or SLS, lifted off from Launch Pad 39B at Kennedy Space Center, pushing nearly 4,000 tons of thrust. On board were Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen. 4 humans, 10 days. The first crewed mission beyond Earth orbit since Apollo 17 in 1972. After a 54-year break, humans are finally back out there. Make sure you stick till the end. I've got something special for you. Let's start with what actually went right, because honestly, a lot did. The launch itself was almost flawless. Fueling, which had hydrogen leak issues before, went perfectly this time. The seals held, and leak levels stayed far below the limit. Back in the Saturn V era, they had similar tolerances, but nobody checked every tiny detail like today. Some people noticed the emergency escape system activating during launch. That wasn't a mistake. It's part of the sequence to protect it. The rocket followed its planned trajectory perfectly. The solid boosters, providing 75% of the thrust, separated after about 2 minutes, and the core stage separation was clean. That's when we got those insane cinematic shots. If you look closely, you can even spot the RL-10 engine nozzle extension not yet deployed. Orion's 4 solar panels unfolded perfectly and immediately started generating power. About an hour after launch came the first key moment, the perigee raise maneuver, and it was successful. Quick breakdown: the highest point of an orbit is the apogee, and the lowest is the perigee. About an hour later, the apogee raise maneuver also went perfectly. Together, these placed Orion into a stable, highly elliptical orbit with a perigee around 1,600 kilometers and an apogee near 40,000 kilometers. This is where the push toward the moon happens. By the time you're watching this, the crew is already on their way to the moon. After that came proximity operations, or prox ops, one of the most important technical tests. It checks Orion's ability to move manually relative to another spacecraft without GPS or ground support, relying only on onboard systems and the crew's eyes. This matters because future missions will require docking in lunar orbit, where GPS doesn't exist. The target was the ICPS upper stage that brought them into orbit. Orion performed a 70-minute sequence of controlled approaches and retreats, getting as close as 30 feet. Victor Glover flew the maneuver. Wiseman handled procedures, while Hansen and Koch monitored everything. The result was a perfect execution. After that, Orion performed a departure burn and moved safely away. The ICPS will later deorbit into the Pacific. Shortly after, 4 small satellites were deployed. But not everything went smoothly, so let's talk about the issues, honestly and without drama. Shortly after the first maneuver, Mission Control lost communication with Orion during a handover between ground stations. For a few minutes, no data came back. The crew could still hear the ground, so uplink worked, but the return signal dropped. The issue was quickly identified as a handover glitch and fixed fast. No systems were affected and the crew was never in danger. Then came something unexpected: the toilet. Yes, seriously. An error light appeared during testing. The crew reported it, and after prox ops, they worked with ground teams to fix it. It took a few hours, but it's fully operational again. This is normal for a test flight. Even the space shuttle had far bigger issues early on. That's the point of this mission: learning under real conditions. As Isaacman said, finding problems is the job. No simulation can replace real flight. If you're enjoying this, drop a like and subscribe. It really helps. Now, back to what didn't go so smoothly. Here's where things get real. NASA hyped this moment for months. The first crew beyond Earth orbit in decades. A historic event. The world was watching, or trying to, because right at liftoff, the broadcast fell apart. Before that, it was perfect. Professional, engaging, great commentary. Then suddenly, bad camera cuts, missing shots, and during one of the most dramatic moments, booster separation, they showed the crowd. The crowd instead of the rocket. While a 4,000-ton rocket was blasting into the sky, and the boosters were separating in a fireball, we were watching people on their phones. And even worse, the official recap didn't include it either. That's honestly embarrassing. Thousands of people worked their entire lives for this moment, and the world missed one of the most iconic visuals. That's not a technical failure. That's bad priorities. NASA needs to address it, because this isn't just spaceflight, it's inspiration. And inspiration needs visuals. 2 days later, they released footage from the rocket's perspective, which is great, but let's be honest, billions won't go back to watch that. There was also a small software issue with Microsoft Outlook. 2 windows open, neither working. Mission Control fixed it quickly. So what's next? After ProxOps, the crew took a short break, had a snack, and got about 4 hours of sleep. Then another orbit raise maneuver, also successful. The next big milestone was the translunar injection burn. This happened about 24 hours after launch. Orion has now left Earth's sphere of influence and is officially on its way to the moon. This was the point of no return. Before this, there were still options. After this, not really. All systems were checked. Life support, communication, propulsion, everything was green. The burn placed them on a free return trajectory, meaning physics alone will bring them back to Earth. After that, the crew did a short interview. They looked great, smiling, in good condition. But here's something people don't really think about. Space missions aren't just about rockets and engines. They're about humans adapting to an environment that literally wants them gone. Every small action, every checklist, every movement inside Orion is calculated. Even something as simple as eating or sleeping becomes part of a system designed to keep them alive. Inside the capsule, time doesn't feel normal anymore. There's no real up or down, no natural day or night cycle. The crew has to rely entirely on scheduled routines to stay sharp. That mental discipline is just as important as any piece of hardware on board. Because one small mistake out there doesn't stay small for long. And then there's the silence. Out there, once the engines cut off, it's just pure stillness. No wind, no background noise, nothing. Just the hum of onboard systems and your own thoughts. It's something astronauts have described as both peaceful and unsettling at the same time. At this point in the mission, Earth is already starting to shrink behind them. Not just physically, but mentally too. The further they go, the more real the distance becomes. Every kilometer adds to that realization that they are truly leaving home, even if just for a short time. And maybe that's the most powerful part of missions like this. It's not just about reaching the moon again. It's about reminding everyone back on Earth what's possible. That humans can still push boundaries, still explore, still take risks to go further than before. Around day 6, they'll break Apollo's distance record. They'll also see parts of the moon never seen by human eyes, like Mare Orientale. One image already went viral, showing Earth from about 64,000 kilometers away, with the aurora visible at the poles. It's an incredible shot, taken from Earth's night side, lit by the moon, allowing stars and auroras to appear without overexposure. Whether this becomes the next Earthrise, we'll see. Thanks for watching.